Neutrality is where you want to be in life. Because if I think I'm better than someone, then the opposite must also be true. I must be worse than someone else, right? Whereas if I believe that I am better than no one and no one is better than me, then I'm in a state of neutrality, right? There's harmony there. There's not an imbalance in the system. And what you need to understand is that life seeks balance. Whenever we have something that is really on one extreme, or like I like to say, it's like the higher you go, the further you have to drop, right? When our ego gets so big, then it's the further we drop. When someone insults us, then the pain is far more painful than if we didn't have an ego. Because you say you want to get rid of your ego, because it really hurts when people insult you and you don't want to feel that. But when people praise you, you get so happy. This is why I say when people compliment you, don't get gassed. There's no need to be really, really happy about it. I used to get happy about it. I actually created this folder on my phone because I thought it was helping my self-esteem. But I realized I don't want to depend on what people tell me for my source of happiness and my source of validation. Like that already comes from a greater source than this temporary story. So people would say things like, oh my god, like I love this video, it was really great. I would go and read that every time I would be feeling maybe down, and it fosters a dependency. And what did I say earlier? My source of validation, you could say, comes from something greater. And what do I mean by that? I mean from God, okay? Because what I do now is that I like to remind myself that nothing that happens is my doing, because Priya doesn't exist. Priya is just a temporary illusion, okay? She's just a temporary personality that exists. What is my truth? My truth is that I am an aspect of God. I'm a drop in the ocean of consciousness, okay? So really there is no Priya. I'm just a wave in the ocean. I'm not the whole, if I say that someone says, oh, Priya, you did this really well, then they're complimenting the ocean. They're not complimenting the wave, because I'm not just a wave, I'm the whole ocean. So when someone says something to me like, oh, this was really great, I just think, okay, it's not me, it's God. It's God's doing. It's God's doing. It's God's doing. Because it is God's doing. It's not you. Life is moving through you. Things are happening through you. Nothing is of your doing. You're not doing anything. Everything works with divine order. There is nothing outside of divine order. So when someone says to me, you did something really great, then I don't take that personally, okay? Which also means that if someone says, oh, if someone's critical of me and someone says, you did this really badly, I don't take that personally. I just attribute that to God. Because also one thing we don't want to do is, there are some people who say, oh, everything good that happens is God's doing. This is when you get to, a different side of spirituality where the spiritual ego kind of comes in. And then they say all the misdoings, the misdeeds are their doing. So but how can the good things be attributed to God but the bad things be attributed to you? They can't. They're either all his or they're not his, and I say his, but I'm not really saying a man. It's just for the sake of language. Language is very superficial and hollow and difficult to describe these concepts. But here we are, we try. Yeah, so all attributes are his. Everything. Something bad happens, it's God. Something great happens, it's God. And then you become empty, okay? That is the state of no mind, no ego, where you're free, you're liberated, because you no longer identify with the small part of you. You identify with the big part of you, the master. And when you identify with the master, you become the master. This is why saints, Brahmgyanis, Sadhs, all of these people are so revered. It is because they have learned how to identify with the master, and then they become masters themselves, because that is possible for you. You just have to change who you identify as. I learned something. Well, I realized something. I realized that we love to role play in life. We love to role play because when you think about what someone is thinking about you, what are you doing? You're role playing. You're getting into their body, into their mind, into their identity, and then you're, guessing what it is that they could be thinking, right? That you're making it up on the spot. So what about if you changed who you identified as you changed the person that you are role playing, and you decided to role play as the master, and you got into that, you've shifted your perception to identifying with the master. What I mean when I say the master is the you that is unchanging, the you that never sleeps, the you that never awakens, the you that never dies, the you that is God. When you can just role play and identify with that, then soon enough that will manifest, right? Because what is role playing? Role playing is real. The mind doesn't know what's real or imagined. So when you're role playing, it's real, honey. There is no real or fake. So when you can do that, you will become the master. You will become one with God. And there is so much available to you in that space. You're beyond the maya of life, the illusion of life, these small stories, these, let's get this house, let's buy this, let's get the mortgage, let's get the kids this, you're beyond all of that. Not that you shouldn't live in this world, you should live in this world, but you shouldn't be of it. You should allow the physical world to touch you, but, to touch your outside world. Don't allow it to touch your inner world. Your inner world should always be one with God. Because God is everywhere, okay? I want you to think of God like this. God is awareness. And awareness isn't coming from your body. Your body is not the source of awareness. Your body is in awareness. There is awareness everywhere, and your body just happens to be there, experiencing the awareness. Do you understand? God is an energy that pervades everything. God is everywhere. There is nowhere where God isn't. And when you can connect to that, you are connecting to an expansive, infinite, eternal part of you. That is the truth of you. You have just been made to forget. So when we align with, oh, I did this, you just sound silly, really. But you did nothing. When you're meditating, it's not you meditating. It's just awareness becoming aware of awareness. It sounds really trippy, but when you get it, you get it. I know it's a short one, but I was gonna say, I feel like I've gotten into a habit of saying I hope you enjoyed it, but no. Thank you for watching. I love you.